welcome. I want to welcome everybody, especially to day two of the M3 workshop. I'm excited. Thank you for taking our time, and I want to thank you for your patience as we get along started right now. I just want to say big welcome to everybody. I'm seeing the chat yesterday was something else, but if yesterday was that way, imagine what today will be, right? So please, I want you to turn down all distractions right now. We have two modules to cover right away now, and this is going to be something amazing. Please, I don't want you to miss it for anything, right? So please get your material ready. Ensure you have your notepad, your writing materials, everything you need. Ensure they are ready and right there with you, and then we're diving into this, right? So I want to especially welcome everybody again to day two of the M3 workshop. Thank you, everybody. I see all I see all the comments in the chats. Thank you. Welcome, Samuel. Welcome, Dolapo. Welcome, Ogoluwa. Welcome. I see everybody welcoming. Please drop a message in the group. Let everybody know we are live. Let everybody know we are live. Don't miss this, right? You know, So I'm just going to begin with module two, but let me give us a quick insight into what we're doing today. So we had two modules yesterday. So today we're going to have two more modules, 3 and 4, right? And the focus today is management, right? What makes it M3 is that the first M is maturity, the second M is management, and the last one we'll take tomorrow is metamorphosis. And today's focus is on management. Management. I know perhaps some people might be here. Maybe you are in the management faculty, or you are, or you are in the social sciences. But the management we're talking right about here today, you'll see it for yourself. So I'm going to dive in. I see people sharing their experience from yesterday. For me, one of the things that I took away, and is one of the things I want you also to recall, is these two scriptures, right? The first one is what we saw in Proverbs 15:21. It says, "The senseless fool treats life like a joke." Always treating things like a joke. Just if he's not serious, and people around him have told him, "Guy, why you today serious now? Babe, calm down now. Now only you." He has had things like that. So before he came to the university, this guy was a person who was very intentional and serious about life. But 2 years down the line, 3 years down the line, 4 years down the line, he's just lost all this, all the enthusiasm and all the the fire he came into the school with, and now he's treating life like a joke. But this is a turning point for you, because the senseless fool is the one that treats life like a joke. Nothing must be treated like a joke, but the one with living understanding makes good choices. That's one major outline, highlight for me. The second was the one we saw, in 1 Corinthians 13 and verse 11. Paul was speaking. He said, "When I was a child, I spoke like a child." And that's fine. I was a child then. I spoke about childish matters. I saw things like a child. I reasoned like a child. But the day came, which is like this M3 workshop, the day came when I matured. And guess what he did? I set aside my childish ways. I set aside my childish ways. Never forget these two underpinnings that we're building upon. And so if you were in module 1 and 2, then you can be able to build up on what we have in module 3. Again, like I shared, if you want to experience my screen properly, you can put in your device. You're using a mobile device in the landscape mode, and set the settings to the resolution you desire, and please turn down all distractions. Right? Let's get the best of experience from this. Module 3's focus is on times and seasons. Schooling with a reason. Times and seasons. Schooling with a reason. Let me know if you want me to continue this module. I'm excited. There's just this fire, this sense of fulfillment and meaning oozing out from me, seeing everyone joining onto these and gleaning the value from these. Times and seasons. Schooling with a reason. I know when you came into school, you came in, expectant. You wanted to just be in school. You were done from secondary school. Perhaps you did some A levels as well, and they just wanted to start some university, tertiary education, whether it's diploma or it's first in a bachelor's or whatever the case may be. You were excited to start school, right? I mean, and you came into school, but along the line, perhaps, have you thought about it this way, thinking about it that okay, what is the reason for me being in school actually? All right, and how do I navigate this season? Remember, the focus is on management, management, management. That's the focus. The focus is on management, right? Fantastic. Now, let me show you something. To everything, there is a season. Yeah. Across the world, this is the same. So, countries and regions experience several climatic seasons. The same is with life. To everything, there is a season. To everything, there is a season. To everything, there is a season. Follow me, don't miss this. There's a season. All right. And you see, one of the painful things that can ever happen to a person is doing a right thing in a wrong season. That's one of the painful things that can happen to a person. Is doing a right thing, but that right thing is in the wrong season. It's a right thing, but the right thing is in the wrong season. That's one of the painful things that can ever happen to a person. You're doing a right thing, but that right thing is in the wrong season. It's a painful thing. Painful thing that can happen. And so you need this skill set where you can be able to understand the season you're in and be able to manage this season. That's why this is very important. So this is what happens. The purpose of understanding season will give you two things. When you understand seasons, you know what to do. That's one. Second, you know what time to do it. I'll give you an example shortly. When you understand season, a season is a lump sum of time. So when you look at climatic seasons, for example, in Nigeria, for example, dry season could be for maybe November to March. That could span through maybe 4 to 5 months. And then you also come with a wet season, right? And that could span for a couple of months as well. So a season is a lump sum of time, a lump sum of months, a lump sum of years. A season could be 5 months. A season could be 2 years. A season could be 5 years. A season could be 10 years. So a season is a lump sum of time. Are you with me? However, time is the unit of that season. So in a typical day, we have 24 hours, right? And you can use that 24 hours to begin to measure how you have managed that day. In other words, our focus is that we want to manage this season we are in the university. And two things that can help us to do that is seasons and time. So currently, I want to assume you are in a program of study. Perhaps it's 4 years or 5 years or 6 years as the case may be, or 7 years as the case may be. However, that is the season. That is a lump sum of time. But then to measure your effectiveness, how you are managing this season, one of the things you have available is how you are using the time every single day, 7 days a week, 30 days a month. Those are giving you basic metrics on how you are managing the season. And so when you understand seasons, you know what to do. If I understand this season, I know what I can do in this season. Oh, this season is a season for me to do this. I'm going to give an example now. And then because I know that, I can know what time to do it. So you look at for example, you look at agriculture, for example. Like I said, a season is a lump sum of time, and the unit of that season is time. So I want to give an example from the world of agriculture. And in the field of agriculture, one of the things mastered in that field is an understanding of seasons. That's one of the things mastered in that season, in that field. They are able to master what to do and what time to do it. So look at a farmer, for example. A farmer knows that when it's a wet season, a raining season, this is the time for me to plant. And so he invests in plantation. So guess what happened? He knew what to do. You see it now. And then he knew the time to do it. I'm going to say it again. The farmer knew what to do in this season because he knew that this season was Planting season. This season was rainy season. He knew, oh, this season we're in, oh, this is the wet season. And then he knew what to do. What should he do? Plant. What time should he do it? During that season. And so farmers, based on the understanding of the soil, the geology, the topography, and all of that, science, they know when to plant, what to plant, and they know the time. This is powerful. It is the power of understanding seasons. So you can also be able to dovetail this intelligence into schooling. If you can master the season of your schooling, you'll be able to know what to do and what time to do it. Let's take a case point in Ecclesiastes chapter 3. I love this scripture a whole lot. It gives a picture of times and seasons. And it starts this way. It says there's a time for everything. A time for everything. A time for everything. You are in school, that is a season, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. But if you can understand the season, you can know what to do. So I know that I'm in school. I'm not free. It's a season. I'm in school. I'm not loosed. It's a season. So I can't just do anything I want to do. It's a season. A farmer does not say, oh, well, it's rainy season. Let me just play under the rain. No, a farmer maximizes every single day of that season. He doesn't joke with it. Oh, well, after the semester never start now. We even there on strike, say, make I just chill for hours. No! He's managing the season. Well, result never come out. Make I just... they wait for them. Make I just join this challenge online. And they say they want challenge there online. Make I just post for today. No! There's a time for everything. And then, it begins on saying there's a time to be born. A time to die. A time to plant. You see it now. A time to plant. Could it be that the current season you are in needs you to plant some things? And if you don't plant them now, you would have lost that opportunity to plant them. A time to plant. You can't get harvest if you don't plant. So after a time to plant, he goes on and says, a time to harvest. A time to kill. There's times you need to kill some things. As you are not a child again, you kill the behavior. You don't do them again. A time to heal. A time to destroy. A time to rebuild. A time to cry. A time to laugh. He goes on. A time to grieve. A time to dance. A time for scattering stones. A time for gathering stones. A time to hug. A time not to hug. I was sharing the other day. When I was in the university, I had a policy. I do not hug females. Yeah. Simple wisdom I got early on time. I wanted to manage my emotions. So I don't need to hug anybody. I could give you a handshake. Hi, good morning. How are you doing? I speak with my mouth. And you see some guys unguarded. They say they're tapping currents. No. You are I'm going to share when we get somewhere there. You are starting a fire you can't curtail. There's a time to hug. A time not to hug. Did you see that now? There's a time to hug. A time not to hug. It went on by saying there's a time to find. A time to lose. Are there some things you need to find right now in this season? You need to find them right now. You see, one painful thing about time is that, as they say, once it's lost, you can regain it again. You can't. It's lost, it's gone. So choose to rather invest it. A time for keeping. A time for throwing away. He ends by saying, a time to tear. A time to repair. A time to be quiet. Not every time you speak. Quiet. And let me speak my mind now. Dr. Owoseni, let me speak my mind. Make I give the guy. She don't know when she they talk. Me, you know what level I did? I'm in year 4, you year 1. You don't get sense. No, that's unguardedness. A time to be quiet. There's also a time to speak up. A time for loving. A time for hating. Some things you need to hate. You hate them because you actually love them. If a person wants to help, if you're climbing, you're on a podium and the other person is on the floor, the one on the floor will drag the person on the podium faster. And the one on the podium may just be saying, let me just help him and let him come up to my new level of wisdom. Let this person come up to my new level of experience. I just finished M3 workshop. And so there are some friends you are not going to hate them because you hate their person, but because you hate the current disposition they have. And you need to guard your life first. When you have guarded your life, and then you can help them from far. Not by putting your hands. If you put their hands, they're going to drag you back to where you were. A time for war. A time for peace. What an amazing season. Seasons demystified. Seasons demystified. So I want to understand the season I'm in, so that I can know what to do. One, what's the second thing? What time to do it. And so, I've said all of this to say that schooling is also a season. Schooling is also a season. You are in school right now is a season. Yeah, it's a season. I wish millions of young adults in the university and tertiary institutions will understand this. There are things you need to do in this season, and there are things you can't do in this season. But because of unguardedness, many people don't know this truth. And they go to the university, oh, more is my life. I'll do what I want. No, you don't understand. It's a season. You need to understand the season. You can't do anything you like. What you can only do is what you can do within the confines of this season. So you're asking yourself, now that I'm in this season, what am I meant to do in this season? Some say, I want to make money while in school. It's not bad, but is that the purpose of the season? So I want to give you an exercise right now, and I want everybody to do it. Whatever is the reason why you came to school, just try to reflect when you came into school, you got admitted in year one, your matriculation, or why you want to be in school, as the case may be. Write the reason down. What was that reason? I mean, if you're sincere with yourself, something's going to come to the fore. What was that reason why you came to school? Write it down on your notepad right now. Write it down right now. Schooling is also a season. Write it down on your notepad. Please do that right now, and I'm going to just show you what to do. Schooling is also a season. Amazing. Just be very sincere. Be very, very sincere if you can. What was that reason? What was the reason? I'll give you 30 seconds to do that. What was the reason? What was the reason? This is amazing. Now, what you have written, I want to appreciate your honesty. I want to appreciate your honesty, really, really, really. Thank you for that. So I want us to take it a step further. I want to show you quickly what schooling is, and we're going to recast the reason you've got. Are we good? Don't worry, be fine. Right? This is an intervention. Now, schooling, some people say the other time, and some people have that position. They say schooling is a scam. You can imagine. The meaning is that they also don't understand the season. I did an article one time. I said campus is a refinery, not a restaurant. This was what I meant. When you go to a restaurant, you see finished food. You approach a restaurant, you go to the savory, and then they are showing you, this is the meal we have. We have jollof rice, we have fried rice, we have Chinese rice, we have XYZ, and then we have this, we have that. You're just seeing all the various menu they have. And you're just salivating. They are all done, they are cooked already. Which one do I take? And then you're trying to make all the decision. But that's not school. School rather is not a restaurant where you see finished food. School rather is a refinery where crude talents are refined. And so let's go back to that restaurant example. When you look at a restaurant design, the front part of the restaurant everybody sees and dines in as the finished food. But where the food is actually cooked, you don't get there. They don't show you as a visitor. You don't even know. Only the workers who are there know that this is our kitchen. Our kitchen is behind. Just like you go past a KFC drive-through, and then once they're trying to attend to you, another is coming, they're trying to pick it, get it through from the kitchen, it gets to the servery, and then you're served. In a school, you're in a refinery. You're in a refinery. And some people just wanted to paint a school to be a mall, to be a restaurant. And so they want to look their best. They want to talk their best. They want to do everything their best. It's not bad, but that season is a refinery. When you are done from the refinery, yes, you will come out with a refined version. So you go into school with your crude talents. I think I had a story of, I can't remember whether that was Oprah Winfrey, or I can't remember if she was the one. A teacher spotted while she was in school. Oprah, you're good in speaking. She was, I think a teacher found that gift while she was in school and just told her what she could do. I mean, why not just develop this some more? Let me show you the thin line between schooling for certificate and skill. So schooling is not bad in itself. Schooling, like I was sharing, is a refinery. You come as a crude talent. You bring in your crude talents, your crude abilities, your crude potential, and then you get them refined. But when you don't surrender your potential to be refined, then that's when it becomes a problem. And so some people just go through school, or just by reading theories, cramming them, and then returning them back in exams, and then they get a certificate. You don't get the best value from school that way. You get the best value from school when you first identify. I'm going to show you a framework you can use to identify your potentials tomorrow. When you identify all of your giftings first, and all through the time you are in school, you surrender them for refining. You look for platforms, associations, whatever platform to refine them. That time, by so doing, your gifts, your potential becomes skill. That's when you have gone to school. So in other words, some people actually have certificates, but they don't have skill. So you are actually meant to school your gift. I'm going to say that again. You are meant to school your gift. That's what you're meant to do. So you don't even have time for any other thing. This season is a season to refine your gift. When I did the assessment I'm going to show you tomorrow, I came out with about 22 or 25 thereabout areas of giftedness I found in myself. I think I did that last 2 years. I try to do it once in a while to see if there are newer gifts I'm finding myself, because you evolve by time and season. Maybe there was a gift I don't know that was inside of me. Yeah. So I wanted to replace what you have written right now. Just right below it. What is the reason why you're in school at this season? To refine my gifts and convert them into skill. That's a better purpose. That's a better reason. To refine my gifts, convert them into skills. That's the purpose of this season. If this is the purpose, then you don't have time for frivolities. You don't have time for wasting time. You don't. Schooling is a season. It's a season. How you manage this season will determine the outcome for the next season. I mean, it's a simple equation. Input to output. You don't plant, there's no harvest. But some people get out of school and then all they came out with is a certificate. Certificate that just showed that they cram and they poured it out. And then they're expecting an harvest. And they're just wondering, there's nothing to do. But while they were in school at the season, they didn't school any gifts. They didn't school, not even one. They didn't school any gifts. You see the challenge right now. Thank God you are in this call right now. This is how you can manage this season. So I'll close this module shortly, and I want to just show you and walk you through how do you manage this season. Let me know if this has been helpful for you. Let me know in the chat. Tell me if this has been helpful for you, and I'm just going to walk you through how to manage this season. Has this been helpful for you? How do you manage this season? How do you manage this season? like this video and subscribe to the channel if you have not. Let me know, is this helpful? And then we'll just show how do you manage this season. How do you manage this? Who is finding this helpful? Let me know who is finding this helpful. Let me know who is finding this helpful. Awesome. Emmanuel says very helpful. Amazing. Thank you for that. How do you manage this season? Okay. Let's look at this. How do you manage this season? You manage this season by what I call self-management. By what? Self-management. Put that in the chat, note in your notepad. You manage this season by self-management. Nobody else is in school with you. You're yourself. You go yourself. You manage yourself. But there's a skill to it. Self-management. I mean, I'm not talking about raising shoulder pad and I can do it. No. I'm not talking about that. This is a skill to managing yourself. Self-management. Self-management. What does self-management contain? Self-management is the ability to regulate and control your actions, feelings, and your thoughts. Let's take it again. Self-management is the ability to regulate and control your actions, feelings, and thoughts. I mean, these are careful things you need to note down. That's self-management. Self-management. Ability to regulate and control your actions, your feelings, and your thoughts. So, look at the chart, for example. We said we're no longer children. Maturity, yesterday's focus was getting out from maturity and coming into a new level. Now we're in management. When you look at a child can't manage himself or herself. Pulls on the body. So we have to put the baby on a diaper. That's a child. But their adult body is still in diapers. That's a child. You see a child, how do you know a child? A child throws tantrums anytime. What is a tantrum? Uncontrolled outburst of anger and frustration. Uncontrolled. Just anyhow, anywhere. No, that's not guardedness. That's a child. A child can be eating and just makes a mess of the food. How many more? That's a child. But self-management is the ability to regulate and control your actions, your feelings, and your thoughts. You see it now? Yeah. So, what you need to do right now in this season when you are in school is to take responsibility of your behavior and well-being. I love a quote by Dr. David Oyedepo. He says, you are absolutely responsible for the outcome of your life. You are absolutely responsible. Not your neighbor, not your bunkmate, not even your parents, not your sibling. And we live in a world where people are eager to cast blames. She's the one. Even Adam casted a blame. He said, it's Eve. It's Eve that gave it to me. She gave me of the apple to eat. Everybody's looking for who to cast the blame on. But guess what? You are absolutely responsible. Have you tried this exercise before? You try to point a finger. As you're trying to point a finger, when you're trying to point a finger, 3 of your other fingers are pointing back to you. Then 1 is pointing to God. That one is a witness. You're trying to point to yourself, right? And then 3 are pointing back to yourself. So who takes more responsibility? Me. I am absolutely responsible for the outcomes of my life. I'm absolutely responsible for the outcomes of my life. That's self-management. Self-management. That's self-management. So you are taking responsibility of your actions. Nothing just happens by chance. When I was in the university in the third year, one of our classmates was caught cheating. It was a 3-unit course, and so a 3-unit course is kind of like such an heavy unit course, and everywhere was tight. We were writing the exam. Everywhere was tensed, and then during the exam period, I just saw someone brought out. He was rusticated. You are responsible for your actions. Do you know how examination malpractice occurs? Let me show you that model. It's simple. It's a simple model. I've shared it in a couple of places. How examination malpractice occurs is a model. The model starts first when you are unprepared. I was writing a professional exam in 2016. I was to write the exam in September. I woke up in, I think, July, or is it June? Maybe June, I can't remember now. June, either June or July. I woke up the first day of July, and I just said to myself, Abraham, if you continue this way, you are going to fail this exam. Why? I was not, my preparation, I was casual, and I was joking, like that scripture we read. A senseless fool jokes about life. I was joking. Not exam. I'll read now, 1 week to exam. That's what a number of students do. Just cram and pour. You will not get the best value from school if that's what you do. You wait for a week before you prepare for exam. You're not managing yourself well. Why? You can't understand the concepts in 1 week. The goal of schooling is for you to understand principles, concepts, methodologies, theories that will help you gain understanding, deep understanding. You see, why schooling is different, why professional schooling is different from vocational schooling is that in vocational school, if you go to a vocational school, they just want to tell you how to bake. Yeah, they tell you, this is a pan. I think I have something that looks like a pan. I have a mug here, and then they tell you this is put the mold here, put the flour here. Once you put the flour, and then put it in the oven, and then that's all. That's vocational schooling. It's not bad. Some people are in that value chain. Professional schooling, you know what professional schooling does? Professional schooling does not just tell you the apparatus to use. They tell you how to make the mixture of the flour. They teach you in such a way that you can now design your own mixture. So they need to tell you the science, the chemistry behind the mixture. They tell you the methodology of the mold. They tell you the temperature. They tell you many things so if you only cram those things and say, oh, they just ask me, they're going to ask me exam. What is the mold? The mold is a form that you use to make the cake. And then they ask you, what are the things that make the mold? The flour, this one, then the iron. You are not getting the best from school if that's all you do. What you do is that, I want to master this thing. That's why a week to preparation will help you do that. While they are teaching, I'm having an understanding and an open mind to master that thing. If I don't master it in class, I go out of class through personal study, through meeting other people to master the concept. It's the mastery I need, not the regurgitation in the exam. I need the mastery so that I can be able to produce my own paint. So, for example, someone is in chemistry. They just study the chemical pigments that makes up a paint. I should leave that class and be able to make my own paint. That's the value of education. Not just telling me the chemicals that make it up. You see the difference now? Yeah. And so, the cycle of malpractice starts when you are unprepared. After you're unprepared and you're getting unprepared, well, by the way, that story I was sharing, I told, self-awareness is the beginning of knowledge. As I told myself I needed to increase my preparation, I did increase my preparation. I came out tops in the exam. It's all story today. Now, when you're unprepared, fear starts to come in. This is a chain line. It's a chain line reaction. You're unprepared, fear starts to come in. As fear starts to come in, then the devil comes. And the devil is not the devil is not about just wanting you to fail, or he actually comes and paints a deception that, sorry, I'm unprepared for this exam. Okay, no problem, let me help you. Okay, this is what you can do. And so you're just going to just carry the book. The question they will set now. Just write the answer down, and then I'll tell you where to keep it. Nobody, they can't catch you. They can never catch you. Do you know how these things happen? They happen as thoughts in the mind. You don't see it on anybody's face. Thoughts in the mind. After that level, I don't know if you are noting down the levels I'm sharing. I'm not putting them in a particular number. It starts from unpreparedness. After unpreparedness, fear sets in. Then deception starts to come in. After deception, validation comes in. Write these steps down. Validation is that the devil tells you that there's someone else that you should meet. This person, he did it last semester. They didn't catch him. The devil needs that so that you don't change your mind. So he looks for a way you can validate the deception. You see, that's crazy. And then it actually happens that way. It's orchestrated. It's a mind game. You meet this person say, I'm true. You're not going to catch you. No worry. You can do it. You can do it. The guy is validated. And then he goes into the act. And because the devil won't tell you that you'll be caught. And then the person is caught. And then the final outcome, John 10:10, the devil comes to steal, to kill, and to destroy. So the devil steals and kills the time. So when a person is rusticated, perhaps he loses 3 years or 4 years he has even been studying. he loses it because he doesn't finish the degree program. He loses it. The devil is now happy. Why? The time has been wasted. His joy is to kill time, steal the season. And that's what he's doing again. If you don't master self-management, if you don't take responsibility of your actions, your feelings, your thoughts, he wants to steal this season from you. He wants you to pay attention on irrelevant things. He wants you to pay attention on things that don't glorify this season. He doesn't want you to pay attention on your gifts, schooling your gifts. He doesn't want you to do that. He wants you to just while away. He wants you to see this time as pleasure. He wants to see this time as party time, hangout time, church, school, chilling time. That's what he wants you to see this time as. But guess what? He's lost it because you are wiser coming on this platform. You are wiser today. That's how self-management works. Now, I'll show you this balance of skills and I will wrap this module up. Now, self-motivation. I think we've dealt with self-motivation. I'm showing these skills. These are skills that will help you to achieve self-management. Managing the season you are in school. Self-management is what we did earlier on. I asked you the reason why you were in school, and then we've been able to recast a better reason why you were in school. When I was in the junior school, in the third year, my father, we had an agreement. And then, he said to me that, the agreement was that I should come first in class. I said, okay, no problem. So we tied an agreement. Okay, well, so what am I going to get? Okay, so we agreed at a bicycle, a brand new BMX bicycle. So because of that, I was now, acing at doing well in school because of that motivation. Now, that motivation, we call that external motivation. So I was doing well in school because BMX bicycle, reading my book, BMX bicycle, go to class, BMX bicycle, do my assignment, BMX bicycle. Are you seeing it now? External motivation. It's not bad. Some of you currently, you are aiming at the class you want to get because of external motivation. Someone has promised you something, you want to get something, or, so that I can get a job. I know it's not bad. However, this is the rule of thumb for motivation. Let your internal motivation be higher than your external motivation. I'm going to say it again. Let your internal motivation be higher than your external motivation. The reason is this. The external motivation can be taken away at any time. What if my daddy didn't buy me that BMX bicycle? Imagine how empty I would have felt. Luckily, he bought it. What if you don't get that award you think you get because you want to aim at the first class? What if you don't get that cash prize? What if you don't get that internship? What if you don't get that graduate trainee program? What if you don't? So, external motivation is good, but make your internal motivation higher. What is your internal motivation? I'm schooling, I'm aiming to get a first class because I want to live a first class life. One of the things I learned about first class students is that organizations look for first class products because they believe that these people have been able to subject themselves to certain principles that bring about first class. So it was not necessarily a first class grade they were looking at for, but the principles they subjected themselves to. They knew that these people could have been able to manage their time. They knew that these people are critical thinkers. They knew that these people are better articulates in their thinking. They knew some of those non-technical skills. So rather than now looking for people to now start training afresh with those skills, let's look for people who have paid attention to those skills. And the evidence of those skills is first class. 2-1. So they look for it. You see it now. You see it now. Amidst all your schedule, you can still get a first class. We need you. Because on this job, in this role, there will be many demands. We want people that can be able to make great progress across the board. So we need you. You see the reason why now? Amazing. So make your internal motivation. I want to be a refined professional in this field. That's why I'm aiming for a first class. I want to refine my gifting in this course. I'm gifted in this field. I know that. I want to refine it to the best of my ability. That's why I'm aiming for his first class. Let external motivation be an addendum, as like Matthew 6:33 says. Let it just be added to you. Don't let that be your motivation alone. Now, let's talk about accountability. Now, this is the second skill set you need to manage this season while you're in school. Accountability means getting people who can keep you in check. Look at the people who go wild in school. They had no accountability. I remember I was very vulnerable. To the extent that I was in year 1 I was in a meeting, like a meeting in school of a group of a group, and I just saw they invited somebody to come speak at that event. He was also a student, but was in an higher level. And then when he was done speaking, I just said I must go meet this man. Moreover, he was in my course as well. So I mean, I was such an introverted person, but I just I just took courage and I took the wisdom that I need accountability. I walked up to me and said, "Hello, sir. My name is Abraham. I'm in year one." And when you were speaking, I just said I was going to come to meet you. I need you to guide me. I mean, I just came into year one. What's your room number, sir? Where can I meet? How can I get to meet you? I got my first accountability in university that way. And then, I go to his room, I see what he's doing. I mean, I'm inspired. He guides me. If I don't understand something, I can go meet him. Accountability. Get one if you don't have one. Get one. I mean, this was my first mentor I had in a first major mentor I had myself. I mean, and he's still my mentor to today. One of my veritable mentors. Amazing. 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 Accountability. Get yourself accountable. When we get on holidays, guess what? I had another accountability. I go to my cousin who is an architect, and then I go to learn from him. I get to learn some things. He's in the field. Okay, what's happening in the field? I remember at that time, there was some technological advancement in the field I was studying at the time, and then he was able to start to expose me to those skills. Accountability. Accountability. I even had, I think I told you the other day, I had a D in a course in my first year. That was my lowest GPA in my first year. But I didn't just raise shoulder part. I beg you, that lecturer just hit me. Like some of us say, they gave me. No, I took responsibility. Self-management is taking responsibility of your actions, your thoughts, and your feelings. I took responsibility. Okay, no problem. What do I do? Let me get an accountability partner. I look for somebody who was good in the course. I went to meet him. Sorry, can I come to your room? Can you teach me? Can you put me through? He said, no problem. I was going to his room. He was teaching me. He was putting me through. The next semester, the advanced level of that course, I got a grade higher than what I got the previous semester. Imagine I just stay to myself, stay to my shell. Isolation can kill in the university. Get help. Get in the right company. Get in the right company. Accountability. The next one is time management skill. Time management skill. You see, because this season, the unit of measurement of this season is time. A semester, 3 months, as the case may be, come and go. Before you know it, 12, 14 weeks is out. How do you manage the time? As simple as having a to-do list. I mean, I used to have a notepad. Whatever kind of notepad you want to use a diary, or you want to use as small as sticky notes, whatever works best for you. You're on your laptop, you can have this sticky note app. You can put it on your laptop or your device, or if you're using a mobile device, you can put in your notepad apps, use the checklist pad, set reminders, and just be accountable to your time. Someone says, I mean, make you just go chop. I'm so sorry. I need to do something now. Yeah. But if you had no plan of that time, okay, make we go. No. I have a slot to eat. Some people eat for 1 hour. And as they're eating, they're watching a movie. Oh no, you are losing the time. It's a season, remember. Why should you eat for 1 hour? You won't have that time to eat for 1 hour after school. Why should you eat for 2 hours? You're watching a series. Why? Time management skill. So even when I get into other times, other places, I mean, all through the rest of the day, I'm just looking at my to-do list. I'm crossing this one. 2 more things. I'm just looking at it. I may even been at another event, but I'm just looking at, okay, what do I need to do? I get a new assignment. I update it to my to-do list. So you don't need to wait till the last week of submission of that assignment before you start it. You have, yes, the assignment will keep piling. That is, there's no two way about that. But I have a list that shows where I write all assignments. Okay, this one is done. Okay, this one is required in 3 weeks. There's something I used to do. I mean, I don't know. It could be something that works for me, but let me just share. It could be of great help to you. Anytime I want to achieve something faster, the one that I need to submit, let me put it in a simpler way. So if I have 3 assignments, and one is to be submitted maybe 3 weeks, the other one next week, the other one 2 weeks. Guess what I'm going to start with? Guess. Guess what I'm going to start with? Guess now, guess guys. Someone will tell me 1 week. No, I start with the one that is far, the 3 weeks one. You know why? I mean, that's why I said this is something I found about myself and works for me. It could be different for you. I found that when I work with the one that requires longer time to submit, it gives me a sense of urgency to the one that is 1 week. So because I know the one that is 1 week, I still must do it. But rather than just so the same thing I apply when I'm preparing for exams. The timetable is out, I'm now doing my final revision. I start revising my final revision from the last topic I'm having the last day. And then I take it to the one I'm now having the first paper. Because I know that I will still prepare for the first one. I mean, and that's how it just works for me. The summary of this skill set in managing, in self-management is don't lose your time. Your time is your life. Your time is this season. The measurement of this season is your time. I go see some people sometimes they just stroll, they just while away, they sit on the curbs, just along the road for 1 hour. Just gisting. They say they are taking fresh air. Come on, come on, come on. Time management is similar to goal setting. So goal setting is a whole lot training. I won't be able to do justice to that now, but I have some video trainings on that on my YouTube channel. Just search for goals. You see a number of video trainings. You can digest them. But I'm going to say something before I leave this point. Now, you could like what we shared the other day. You can use your personal development timer to define your goals. Okay, this month, this quarter, this week, my goal is to finish this project. My final year project is started. I want to finish chapter 2 this week. This is the goal. Now, what do I need to be doing each day to achieve this goal? All right. What do I need to? I mean, when you go through the video training, you'll see there's a template I share on goal setting. In that template, it talks about what do I need to do? What education do I need to do to be able to achieve this goal? Do I need to learn about methodology, research methodology? What do I need to learn about? What environment do I need to be in? Sometimes you need to be in an environment to achieve your goal. Do I need to be in the library? Or look for what works best with you. It's not generic. Do I need to be? Sometimes when I'm ideating, I'm preparing for learning development sessions like these. I'm preparing for training and coaching programs. I'm designing a new, material, working on a new book. I work best in the afternoons and in the mornings. Which one works best with you? It's relative to you. And then I need to be in an environment. At one time I was writing a book. I wrote a book just listening to one song. Just one song. The song was just on repeat. Or such, and I just finished the book doing that. What atmosphere works best for you? And then you now talk about, okay, what routine, what should I be doing every single day? Who do I need? Are there other people I need to meet to be able to achieve this goal? I mean, think about it that way. Just be goal-oriented. Don't just be loosed. Be goal-oriented. What are you aiming for this week? I sent a mail to my list, this month, and I just shared how they could prepare for a new month. One of the ways you can prepare for a new month is defining 2 things that will make, after this month, you say, oh, this month is successful. How will you be able to say this month is successful? Define 2 to 3 things that will tell you that these are like mini goals, medium goals, short-term goals. Oh, well, that I would have finished this. Then that's when I will say this month was successful. That I would have done this. That's when I'll say this month was successful. What is it for you? What is it for you? The last thing I want to share on is on organizational skill, right? And this one is key because I'm going to share it in 2 ways. Let's start with the first one, electronic organization. Yes, you're in the university, but are you organized in how you articulate your electronic resources, your lecture notes, your materials, your ebooks, your texts, your references, your name it? Are you organized in how you articulate them? I'll give you an example. If you have a personal computer, I mean, that's great. If you don't, you can get one soon. But if you have a personal computer or even a mobile phone, what can you do? You can show your organizational skill in your computer. If I come into your computer and let's start with the desktop, and I see your desktop is like a farm with weeds. It shows the level of your organization. Desktop, everything is there. The lecture notes you got yesterday is on the desktop. Everything, a song, everything. Come on now. You shouldn't do that. You should be more organized than that. Desktop, do you know what they call desktop? The desktop is only having shortcuts of programs and apps you have on the system. You shouldn't have any other thing there. That's desktop. And then you go into the drive. In the drive, that's where you can now begin to open folders. I mean, I learned this a whole lot while from way back in school. It's helped me to today in how I organize things. Every year, I have a folder on my computer. So this year, I have a folder. Guess the name of the folder, 2022. It's as simple as that. You can see folders of 2018 on my system, folders of 2019, 2020, 2021. That's organization. When you open the folder, you see subfolders of various expressions of my being. When you open it, that same folder, you see other subfolders. This workshop as a folder. So you need to be organized that way. Some people are looking for, you are looking for something, a resource of 2 years ago. It shouldn't take you time and you're sweating. Just pray. It's your computer. That's why it's a personal computer. Where is this document? Okay, I'll find it out. Don't worry. I know where it is. Whichever way you want to, you want to annotate your organization. Maybe you want to call it by semester, first semester. And when you open first semester, you see each course has a folder. That is organization. Each course has a folder. Inside the course, I still have subfolders. I call one lecture note. I call the other one assignment. I call this one orders. If the other things you don't know what to call them, you can just say orders. Inside orders, I can have other things, notepad files of things I was just scribbling, whatever it is. Organization. You can go a step further and have some of your files on the cloud. It could be Google Drive. It could be OneDrive. It could be whatever drive you're using. And then you're having it backed up on the cloud as well. So you're not losing your final year project. Everything is synced. If you use a licensed Office file, for example, software, for example, the same document you have is synced across all your devices. There are many ways to do this. Let your organization show that way. Songs are separate in the place they should be. Videos are separate in the place they should be. Organization. Hey, well, Dr. Abraham, it was someone that just used my laptop. She just scattered it. No, you can even create. If you have people that use your laptop and that was your choice, no problem. Create a folder for them. Organization. Yeah. Organization. Right. These skills will help you to improve your organizational skill. I'm led to quickly share something about songs and lyrics. I'll quickly share that right now and then we close this module. So someone says, well, Dr. Abraham, I have a folder where I have songs, and then I have two songs arranged in their genres and all that. Good, but what kind of songs do you even listen to, by the way? Tell me. Someone is trying to be. You say, well, I listen to gospel songs. I listen to these. Let me teach you how you can articulate and guide your life about the kind of songs you listen to. Now, every song carries a spirit. I shared with you earlier on how I wrote a book by listening to a song. What song do you think that would be? Do you think it would be a loose song? No, it can't be. That means for that could have happened, the song was connected to my spirit. And there was just a synergy between the song and the spirit. And I was getting inspiration to keep writing. Don't you think so? No song leaves you the same. Case in point. Have you gone to a club before, and in the club they are saying, I want more of you, Jesus, the more I know you. Have you gone to a club before and they were singing that? They can't play that. You know why? They want to create an atmosphere of wordom. And so they look for songs that bring the spirit of wordom. They look for songs that create that atmosphere. And then everybody comes into that atmosphere, surrenders to that atmosphere. So someone says, well, Dr. Abraham, it's too difficult to do it. My roommate is always playing something so loud. I've complained. Guess what? Create your own climate. Create your own atmosphere. Don't never be left unguarded. Well, you add the song on the road, no problem. when you increase your own atmosphere, the one you add on the road will have no place in your mind. It's a spirit. What kind of songs you should listen to? Colossians 3:16 explains it. I mean, and there's no two thing about it. That's the truth. He said, "Let the word of God dwell in you richly in all wisdom, singing and admonishing one another in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs." So when people ask me, Dr. Abraham, what kind of song do I listen to? Spiritual songs. That's what the scripture says. You thought I was going to say gospel songs. Oh, you were wrong. Spiritual songs. I'm going to explain what it means again. It's not religion. What spiritual song mean is that what song connects your spirit to God. That's a spiritual song. Not by just religion. Well, it's a gospel artist. No. I mean, I've had gospel artists before who I had to delete their song because it was not connecting my spirit to God. I don't want to mention them. There was a time a gospel artist, in Nigeria released an album, and I just listened to the album. I felt something is wrong here. It didn't connect my spirit. So the kind of song you decide, I'm not going to choose for you. What songs, when you are singing them, when you are playing them, they connect your spirit to God. Remember, we shared that I have the SIM card. My spirit is the SIM card. And so my goal is to ensure that my SIM is connected to the telco, to the telecommunication company, right? And then I can easily make call. So every now and then, I want to ensure that I'm in an atmosphere. I'm doing things that will keep my spirit communicated, connected. One of the ways is through songs. And Dr. Owoseni, why are you so serious now? So we can't even play one, the kind of song. One, I'll show you what you can do. I mean, it's not just about that you are too serious. It's about your life. Do you love your life? Do you love your spirit? A senseless fool treats life like a joke. Treats life like a joke. Even song. Yes, you can manage your season that way. And today you see young adults plug their ears and then they just jamming. They say the beat is good. It's not just the beat. Is it good for your spirit? Is it good for your spirit? Yes, you can listen to what I call them secular songs. Secular songs, I'm going to give a caveat to that. Secular songs are songs that talk about positive themes and happenings. For example, in Nigeria, we had an artist called Timi Dakolo. He sings about Nigeria, and he says, we are a nation undivided and poised. We will. I mean, many people know that song. That's an example of a secular song. He was just talking about Nigeria, and then making a pledge on our development, our growth of the nation. No problem, right? But does it connect my spirit? Nothing. It doesn't do that. It doesn't do anything like that. I mean, I have this song. I was with one of my mentors this week, and I gave him a song by Tasha Cobbs. This is a move. This is the move. And then I just played it for him, and then the spirit went on fire. He said, Abraham, open it for me. We were streaming it immediately. I mean, he wanted to download it and just get it everywhere. And he started meditating on it. Why? He connected his spirit. He connected his spirit. So songs don't leave you the same. The bulk of the songs you listen to should be spiritual songs. 95%. 5% could just be talking about the environment and all that. 0% should be worldly song. How many percent worldly? 0. 0% should be worldly. Dr. Abraham now. But now people, what are people they listen to him now? They die. Don't worry, they didn't die physically, but their soul is going away. Yeah. Do you love your life? Guard your life. Guard what you listen to. Guard what you listen to. Spiritual songs. Spiritual songs. Spiritual songs. So it's not about, maybe in your school, maybe they tell you, don't listen to this kind of song. It's more than that. It's about your life. It's about your life. This is amazing, right? We're just going to close this module. And I want to just remind you the reason why you came to school. When I did that research in 2017, people said, the bulk of answers said, I came to school to build capacity. 22% of my respondents said that. 14% said, I just want to acquire knowledge. 18% said, for my future aspiration. But this is the point. Like I shared earlier on, I'm in school to refine the giftings of God upon my life to the best of my ability and convert them into skill in this season of life. That should be a purpose for you being in school. And never, never forget this reason. Never forget the reason of this season. I'm saying again, never forget the reason of this season. I'm going to say it again. Never forget the reason of this season. Amazing. Amazing. We're going to go on a stretch break right now. And in the next 2 minutes, we're back. And then we go on module 4 for today. Stick around. We will definitely be back. Catch you. How would you describe module 3 we just had? Please use a word, whatever word you want to use. Put in the chat. How will you describe module 3 we just had? How would you describe it? I mean, just be honest enough. Someone say it was bashing. Be honest. How will you describe module 3, guys? How will you describe module 3? We're going into module 4 right now to close today, day 2 of the M3 workshop, management. Today's focus has been on management. This 3-day mind workshop for intentional yoga adults has been amazing. All glory to God, right? Let me know what word we use to describe module 3 we just had some minutes ago. We just finished. Put in the chat and then we'll just move into module 4. What word would you use to describe that? What word will you use to describe module 3? Who is talking to me? What word do you use to describe module 3? Amazing. Yeah, what word we use to describe module 3? I mean, it was even beyond what I had in mind. I saw God, speaking through me, and I know it was helpful to you. What would you say was a major highlight for you from module 3? Share with me in the chat. Let me know, and let's share that together. What would you say was a major takeaway for you from module 3? Who is talking to me? Module 3, talking about times and seasons, right? Amazing. Schooling with a reason. Thank you for that. Thank you. Tell me specifically. Tell me specifically. Tell me specific highlights. Specifics, right? Specific highlights. Specifics, right? Tell me specifics. What would you say was that major one for you? How would you describe it? Yeah, what was the major highlight? Amazing. I'm ready for module 4, and we'll dive into this as we close for the day 2. Who is talking to me? Who is talking to me? This is great, right? This is great. Module 4 is something else that will blow your mind, right? It's a mind workshop, so it's fine for us to blow the mind, remold the mind, reshape it, recast it. It's fine. That's what happens in a workshop. You bring down the vehicle, they remove the tire, the wheel, they fix it back, they do some body works, they shape it back, and then they spray it back, then they take it back again. So you are in this mind workshop so that when you are out, it's a refined version that is out. Awesome. Amanda says timely. Thank you for that. Timely. Awesome. Great. Let's move into module 4. The focus of module 4. Are we ready? Module 4. The focus of module 4 is mastering self-management, poise, and guardedness on campus. The focus is on management, right? And this is the second leg we're taking on management, which is poise and guardedness on campus. And I'm building on module 3 we just finished into this module 4. Poise and guardedness on campus. Remember, we said self-development is taking responsibility of your behavior and well-being. Yeah, that was a background we started with in module 3. Self-development is taking responsibility of your behavior and well-being, right? That's self-development. When you look at the dictionary meaning of word poise, what comes to mind? It says composure. You might have heard this word before, and someone just says, I like his composure. He's well comported. Poise, composure. Not everybody on campus is not everybody has this trait of composure. Dignity of manner. Composure. Dignity of manner. Let's take it a step further. Dignity of manner. Now, why you need poise and guardedness is simple. So you can manage this season well to avoid regrets. Regret is something that somebody is gnashing his teeth, biting his finger for, but only that it's too late. You need poise and guardedness so you can manage the season well and avoid regrets. That's why you need guardedness. That's why you need guardedness. Guardrails. I mean, think about it before. Have you? Let me use an example. If you have ever driven on an highway before or on a bridge, one of the things you'll notice are the guardrails by the side of the bridge. You notice these guardrails, and then the goal is that should a car lose its control, the guardrails possibly could keep the car restrained from either falling into the lagoon, like in the case of some bridges, or dashing into another lane. So they put the guardrails to keep the vehicles in check. If non-living things have that for roads, for vehicles, how much more living things, you and I, humans? Guardrails. That means you need guardrails. Guardedness is a process of installing guardrails to every sphere of your life. I'm going to say that again. Guardedness is a process of installing guardrails to every area of your life. I'm going to show you those areas shortly. Guardedness. I mean, and you just have this red tape. You go around a construction site, you see this red tape, and they're telling you, don't pass your boundary. Don't come here. It's dangerous if you step in here. We are not liable to whatever happens to you if you step past this boundary. They've put the guardrail there. They put the tape in there. Red. Watch. Don't come. Do you have that for major areas of your life as well? Guardrails that people can't go past? As a lady, do you have a guardrail that guys can't go past? As a man, do you have a guardrail that females can't go past? Guardrails. Guardrails. And one thing about guardrails is that they don't just happen by accident. You don't just see a guardrail and just put there by accident. You don't just it was consciously installed. Consciously installed. So it's not just going to happen accidentally for anyone. You consciously install the guardrail. The process of installing the guardrail is guardedness. Guardedness. And so, the summary of self-management is simple. Look at it. Discipline is self-management. That's the whole summary of guardedness. Discipline is self-management. Now, think about it. Destiny without control equals destruction. No matter how free a person is, anytime you sense a thing that does not have a control, something is about to go wrong. No control. Do you mean it? No control. No control on time. No control on expenses, on expenditure. No control. Are you sure? Anytime you don't see control on anything, you can expect the worst. So discipline is not all about the fact that someone is creating a rule to oppress you or to press you down. Not at all. Discipline is about you putting order in your life. Self-control. So sometimes institutions try to instill self-control. Let's help them. They may not know. Your parents try to help you. Your guidance. Let's help her. Let's help him. She may not know. He may not know. And so they try to tell you, don't go there. Oh. When you want to go here, tell us. When you want to do this, do it this way. But because of arrogance of ignorance, that's what we call arrogance of ignorance, and it's a very dangerous place to be. An arrogant person who is ignorant is a dangerous person going to happen. And shoulder pass are up. Why will you tell me? Am I a baby? Blah blah blah. Telling me what to do. Am I using bottle? Am I on diapers? No. It's about guardrails. Guardrails. But you don't need to wait till somebody puts in the discipline and the self-control for you. You can, by yourself, for yourself, put the order in place. Put the discipline in place. When you do that, you are installing guardrails. You're installing guardrails. And that's an amazing thing that shows maturity and management when you do that. Again, discipline is not just about doing what is easy. No, it is doing what is right, even if you don't like it. Even if you don't like it, doing what is right. I don't like it, or it's not even convenient, but it is the right thing for me to do. It's the right thing for me to do. I don't like it. It's not easy, but this is the right thing for me to do. That is discipline. Doing what is right as against what you like. Well, Dr. Abraham, I just like to sleep. Who doesn't like to sleep? But is that right? No, I can't sleep all through the day. Well, but I don't have anything to do now. No exam, no lecture. It's lecture-free day. No. You are mature now. You are a product of M3. Doing what is right. I have my routine for myself. And I'm preparing my habit for life after school. So it's not just about school. This was just a preparatory ground. This was just a refinery. Convenience is the burial place of giants. I want to do it when I like. No. Do it when it is right. When it is right, not when you like. When it is right. Because it's all about times and seasons. Like we shared earlier on. What is right? When it's right. That's it. I like the way Paul puts it in 1 Corinthians 9:27. And he starts by telling us that, guys, this thing won't come easy. Boys, you want to be guarded? It's not going to come easily. This is what you're going to do. He said, I keep under my body. You need to listen to that English critically to understand it. What he was inferring is that I keep my body under. Most times because our body is what people can see. The 5 senses. And then the default thing is that you act just by your 5 senses. Sometimes those things can be impulsive. An impulse is something you do without thinking about it. Someone just tells you, let's do this thing. Okay, impulse. So most times your actions are impulsive, they're not deliberate. We did an extensive study on impulses at the Young Breeze Youth Development Conference 2021. You can check on YouTube, just type Young Breeze Youth Development Conference. You see a whole lot session on impulses. That will be of great help to you. But I keep my body and I bring it under subjection. Hey, it's not going to be easy. You want poise? Keep it under subjection. Subjection. I saw a person. I thought, I think we were writing WAEC that time in the senior school, as it obtains, in West African secondary schools. The West African examination is written as, a certification exam for after school, for leaving the secondary school. And when we're writing an exam, and then, somebody was caught cheating. And when they brought the person forward, the person was a prefect. And I was just startled. Oh, a prefect cheats? So it's not about title. It's not about the fact that you are the student president. No. Even Paul said, lest that when I have preached to others, I myself be a castaway. So I put my body under. My body wants to be fronting my decision. My body wants to be fronting how I live. It wants to be fronting my decision by saying, I put my body under. Hey, body, come under. You're not the one leading this action. I put my body under. I put my body under. It's not going to be easy. Subjection. Guarded. I could imagine Paul could have put in guardrails. Under. I keep my body under. Let me show you more about what I mean by guardrails. A guardrail, when you put guardrails, especially in your mind, this is a mind workshop, so I'm signposting into the mind. That's my area of focus. When you put the guardrail on your mind, one of the things that is going to happen is that you now begin to have what I call a gatekeeper. Think about it. People preserve a lot of things. You can imagine people have security men watching over houses, estates. People have security cameras watching over belongings, and precious things. People have security watchdogs, checking for intruders. People have security architecture around, a building, around different, IT architecture, computer architecture, to keep things safe. Gatekeepers. Guess the only place people don't keep? Their minds. Their minds. Their mind. People just assume, well, it's just let's just keep the house and ensure nobody stranger comes in. How about your mind? Imagine the strangers you allow into your mind by the songs you listen to, by the things you watch with your eyes, by the places you go with your feet, by the things you read. What? You need guardrails on your mind. That's how to be guarded. That's one of the areas you can manage your season. Not just this season. This principle covers all seasons of life, not just while in the tertiary institution. And the rule of thumb says, guard your heart above all else. Why? It determines the course of your life. Guard your heart. Put the guardrails. Install them in place. Install them. The things you watch, the things you hear, the things you read, the people you move with, your daily routine. Guard your heart. Well, Dr. Abraham, why are you so serious about these things? My roommate. Okay, I didn't choose my roommate. Okay, what about that? Don't tell me that. No problem. You didn't choose your roommate, but you can choose who comes to your circle of influence. That a person is my roommate does not mean the person is my friend. I'm sure you know that. Proximity is not what makes for friendship. No. Some people, unknown to them, just formed friendship based on proximity. Maybe when you came into the university, perhaps you were clueless the first few weeks, and then the person that was showing you was your roommate. Okay, this is this place, this is that place, and then just felt, well, since the person showed me how, everywhere in the campus, then this person is my friend. No, you don't choose friends that way. It's not by proximity. Oh, well, we are bunk mates. He's on my top bunk. No, you don't choose friends that way. Oh, well, we are in the same hostel. We go out for classes every day. No, you don't choose friends that way. So proximity is not how you choose friends. Your daily routine, the people you move with. You choose friends based on values. Do you share similar values? You can't contaminate. One of the things I've learned in all of my years of working with young people is a very volatile principle: association, friendship. Your friends determine your end. They don't only show you your end, they determine the end. So I don't need to look too much. I just look at 2-3 of your friends. I study them and look at their lifestyle, their actions, their behavior. I'll tell you your end. It's as simple as that. It's as volatile that way. So you can't just allow anybody be your friend. I'm going to show you something later on, how you can have it's a pyramid of friendship. You can have acquaintances, and that one can be everybody on your campus. But when you come to close friends, not everybody can be your close friends. Guard the things you watch. How they were playing it, I was not the one that put it there. You have the control over your eyes. You have the control of your feet. What can you do? Guard your heart. Guard your heart. Put the guardrails there. Guard your heart. So precious. Guard your heart. Imagine when you eat with a food, you're done eating with a plate rather, and then what do you do next? Do you use that same plate to eat your next meal? What do? You wash the plate. Is that so? How about your mind? When last did you wash your mind? When last did you sanitize your mind? You see everybody's putting sanitizer, everybody forming some form of cleanliness and hygiene, but look at the mind. It's not showing what is even on the exterior. Guard your heart. What is in your heart, what is in your mind, is what reflects. It's a straight line equation. From your spirit, it moves to your soul. From your soul, it moves to the body. So the body only takes action from the soul. And what is in the soul? Mind, will, and emotion. So your body only takes action. Someone says, Dr. Abraham, I've been thinking of some thoughts recently, and I don't like them. What have you been watching recently? That's the reason. Your body takes action based on your mind. Based on your mind. What do you read? What are the things you read? Gossip articles? Do you read intelligent things that expands your mind? One beautiful thing about the mind is that whenever your mind is expanded, it's difficult for it to go back. Once it's expanded, it's difficult for it to go back. But it can only be expanded by quality materials. Quality materials that improve your thinking, your cognitive development. But you see, not every young adult can do that today. Once that thing is so tasking to understand, you just put it by the side. But once it's gist, memes, ha 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 ha. No, you can't. Don't play with your life that way. Guard your life. Guard your heart. Guard your mind. You're reading something you don't understand. Amazing. I love that. I'll show you. I have a number of journals. I have about 5 journals. And this is what I do on my journals. I have a journal where I document vocabularies, new things I learned. It's a journal. That's the only thing in the journal. I have a journal where I document. It's more of like a book of honor. Kings I need to honor, right? I have another journal where I document ideas I get for either my podcast or my books. I have another journal where I document daily iterations and ideas. I have several journals. So when I read a book and I'm finding something I just found as a new thing, I just pick the word, I check online, check the meaning. Wow, what does this thing mean? I check the context it was used again. Oh wow, let me check a synonym. Okay. Oh, so this is what this means. Even when you go online today, you can even listen to the pronunciation. I play the pronunciation. I play it again. I try to say it as I'm saying it. Okay? I note it down. That's growth. That's how you grow your mind. Not everybody can do that. Majority won't do that. But you are not the masses. You are a mass. You want to focus on yourself, on your growth, on your mind. One of my classmates was doing this when we were in secondary school. I never even knew. He only told us after we were done from secondary school. When you hear him speak today, he's so refined. His voice is something else. And what was he doing? Simple. He was learning one word every single day. I don't know when he started, whether when he was in first year in senior school or whether he was even in junior school. I don't know when he started. But he told us that he was learning one word every day. Wow. Imagine you start that today. One word every day. One word. One word. Just one. Come on, think about how expanded your mind will be. You are articulate in your thinking, in your speaking. That's the power of the mind. What you hear. What you hear. Do you have podcasts you listen to? Go look for podcasts you can listen to. Search them. Podcasts. I run the live moulding nuggets podcast. You find it on Spotify, Google Podcast, Anchor FM. And then you listen intelligently to people who they could interview a guest, a guest on the podcast. You hear from other people. You hear from other refined minds. You go on YouTube, you find lots of quality interviews. What are you doing with your data? What are you doing with the access you have in such an information age as this? Still watching movies? Movies are not bad, right? There are movies you can watch that will expand your mind. But when you watch movies that don't do that, that's where the concern is. Guard your heart. Guard the heart. Guard the heart. The people you move with. Guard your heart. You be sly. Those days when I was 31st in class, out of 33 people, and those at the back will always tell you. They will tell you that don't mind those people in front. They go just inform. We thought that was true, but later found that it was not true. When I got closer, even those in front wanted to be friends with other people. Only that those behind were just eye-minded. They didn't want to go to them. And so, the people you move with, the quality of people you move with, other people will be snubbing their nose. Oh, they call you sly. Don't worry about that. Just move with the right people. Move with the right people. You can't move with the mob. The mob is always not the quality network. You need just the rich network. They're not always plenty. Just a rich cluster. The people you move with. What is your daily routine? Do you have a daily routine? Things you do either in the mornings or in the evenings. Daily routine. Do you have a daily routine? Can you install one now? Write it down. If you don't have one, what daily routine you want to? How do you design a daily routine? That could even be something you want to study about. How do I design a daily routine? You find lots of resources on that. Things you want to do every single day. I want to read a chapter of the Bible every day. Okay, great. I want to read a chapter of a book. One of my, role model thought leaders says sometimes he's reading 9 books a month. Wow, 9 books a month. And how he does it is that he reads a chapter each from all of them. So in a month he finishes 9 books, not academic books, not those texts, personal development books that will improve his life and his mind. Wow. You don't need to be, it's not about being bookworm. I just want to improve my mind. I want to guard my life. I'll recommend the book of Proverbs. If you read the book of Proverbs, your maturity will grow and skyrocket beyond what it is now. You can listen to the audiobook version of it. You can also read it and just highlight areas that it gives you instruction. My son, my daughter. Instructions. Be the gatekeeper of your mind. What do you control? We've shared about a number of them. Your thoughts. And I think we did a lot about this in module 1, talking about mindset, the concrete that comes into your formwork. The concrete that comes into your formwork, your thoughts. So you are careful of what comes into your formwork, the formwork of your mind. Because you are careful, because it's forming the ideology of your life subconsciously. And it's going inside there to set, they call it mindset. You are conscious of it. Time, we've talked about time. Sight, we've talked about sight. I'm going to share about emotions, taste, and pleasure, and then we'll wrap this module up. Now, I read the scripture earlier on. I want to reiterate it again. The reason is that your affections will affect you. I'll say it again. Your affections will affect you. Why? Your affection talks about the things you love, the things you like. So, above all, guard the affections of your heart, for they affect all that you are. Pay attention to the welfare of your innermost being. How much attention do you pay to your innermost being? You wash your physical body every day. You wash your tongue, brush it every day. You wash your face. How about your mind? Do you pay as much attention to your mind that way? Pay attention to the welfare of your innermost being. Why? For from there flows the wellspring of life, from inside your mind. So your affections will affect you. Well, Dr. Abraham, how do I change my affections? That's what we're talking about now. These things are what we're talking about, to change your affections. Now, let me teach you a methodology you can use to say no. I said I was going to show you that, in this module. How do you say no? Learning to say no. I know most people find it very difficult to say no. But always remember that when you say yes, literally you have also said no to something else. And when you say no, you have also said yes to something else. The reason why you need to say no is this. Proverbs 1:10. When peer pressure compels you to go with the crowd and sinners invite you to join them, look at what the scripture says. You must simply say no. Someone help me type it there. No. N-O. No. But it's a very difficult thing. People don't know how to say no. People don't. You're always so scared. What would they say? Wouldn't they say this? And all that. But there are many ways you can say no, right? The very diplomatic ways you can say no. And one of the ways you can say no is to quickly say the no. Don't think too fast about it. Don't be too, don't wait for perfect words to use. When you wait, it denies you the opportunity to quickly say no. There's a book I'm currently reading. It says how to, I think it's on my shelf now. It says, let me see, how to get things done without trying too hard. There's a chapter that talks about something like that. One of the ways you can say no is saying the no quickly. Don't find too much perfect words to say it. So somebody asks you, but how you say it matters. So I'm not shouting at the person. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And so the person is saying, will you come along? We're going to this place. I'm so sorry. I won't be able to come along. I want to quickly get this done. I've said no. I've just said it in another way. Someone sends you a message. Someone sent me a message the other day. He said someone on LinkedIn was asking her to, of her phone number, and blah blah blah. So I just wondered. I said, so I asked, why was it? I mean, if it's for a business contact, I mean, it's fine. I said, so why are they asking you about a contact? He said the guy said he just wanted to say hello. I said, so what is he saying on LinkedIn? He said, no, hello. I said, you need to say no to him. So how do you say the no? So I told her what to do. Thank you so much. Let's keep communication here for now. Thank you so much. I appreciate. I've said no. I just said it in a way. Learn to say no. Learn to say no. Learn to say no. And maybe when you now say the no, the person goes and says, and tells you, maybe looks for another alternative, but you'll be back now. You just say, I mean, and they're trying to just reaffirm their own position. You also reinforce your own stand. He wants to reaffirm their position. You reinforce your own stand. Oh, I'm so sorry. I just need to quickly run out. This is on my schedule for today. When the person knows that he respects your so you have a schedule. Oh, so sorry. I thought you were like us. We don't have schedule. He runs away. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Let me not disturb you. So you have a schedule, and the next time he doesn't even come near you again because he knows that, oh, this person runs a schedule. He runs a schedule, not like us, and it takes his perception of you changes that day. Sorry. Oh, learn to say no. Who just learned how to say no now? Did he just learn how to say no? That's how to say no. That's how to say no. You also need to say no because you know why? Those who don't know how to say no can never be known. If you keep saying yes, both the good, the bad, everything yes, so that they won't say I'm not good, I'm afraid you might still be shortchanging yourself. I'm not opportune to say yes every time. I can say no. But when I say no, I don't burn the bridge because I said no. The bridge is still fine. I just said no. Right? So how you say it matters. How you say it matters. Let's talk about emotions briefly. I'm working on a book on this, and yes, I've trained a number of different platforms on emotional intelligence and all that. But one of the things I've learned about emotion is this. Look at it. It's called emotions. Do you know why it's called emotions? It's always emotion. Think about it again. Emotions, right? It's called emotions because it's always in motion. So every now and then you will always have feelings. Your feelings are emotion. Always, there's no time that you stop. You don't have it. Right now there are feelings you have. You can find 10 feelings you're having right now. That's how our emotions have been wired. You might feel happy now, and suddenly you're feeling challenged. Maybe in this workshop you felt challenged, or you can just feel maybe someone spoke rudely to you 3 hours ago and you felt so bad. That's fine. Emotion is always in motion. You just got a mail reply that was not too good for you, and it just destabilized your thoughts, and you just felt embarrassed. It's fine. They're all emotions. Emotions. But what can you do about this motion? You can't just allow this motion to keep moving anyhow. You need to control it. Management. You can't just allow this emotion to be moving by itself. No, you need to control it. Now, let's signpost on one major emotion we need to control. Sexual passion. I love a scripture in Songs of Solomon 8 verse 4. Yes, he was talking to women, but he's talking to everybody. And he says, well, I charge you, do not stir up or awaken love until the appropriate time. So, I show you principles from scripture so you can appreciate it and see how it applies in your daily living. He says, don't stir up or awaken love until the appropriate time. Is God an author of confusion? No. So how come God put in us emotions that makes us to want to feel loved and want to give love? Was God not considerate when he was doing that? What God did simply was to create in you and give you organs that will facilitate every area and every season of your life, right? And so the development of the organs sometimes give us a perception that, oh, it's now time for me to make use of this organ. It's now time for me to stir up this organ. And because of the biological wiring, as a lady, as a guy, you just want to embrace somebody. You want to feel loved. You want attention as a lady. You just want somebody you can speak to, right? And you want all of that. Now, these are emotions running through your biological development, your sexual development, but you need to be able to control them. Else, you can imagine somebody driving on the road and he's not holding his steering. He's not controlling the motion and he's running at speed. It's going to be a catastrophe. So someone put up on WhatsApp the other day and said, if you like a girl, tell her. And I replied, it was someone close to me, so I just wanted to guide him and share some thoughts. So I told him, why should you reply her? Reply her that you like her for what? And then I taught him what to do. And this is what I'm sharing with you. You have feelings now, but you don't need to stir up or awaken love until the appropriate time. Perhaps if you are listening to this in February, we all know about Valentine, and Valentine is around the corner, right? And then everybody's saying, oh, who is my vow? Who is my vow? I remember when I was in high school, I was that clueless at that time, so I'm going to share that with you. I've not been this guarded about life. I was in my second year in senior secondary school, and I remember it was Valentine's Day that time, and I bought this gift for this girl I had a crush on in school. I bought the gifts, packaged it, brought it to school. So I was thinking that maybe during break time, I'll give her and all that, but during break time I was just so shy. I couldn't even go to her class. She was not in my class directly. Till closing time, brethren. And the closing time was not even, I had to go to the back of the class through the window to pass the gift to her. I was just under undue pressure. For what? Do not stir up or awaken love until the appropriate time. And Dr. Abraham, is it bad to give Valentine's gift? It's relative. The point is, what are you giving it for? You love somebody? What is love? That you like the person? That's not love. Love is saying that you want to commit your life. So the person you want to give the vow gift, do you want to commit your life to the person? If you say yes, then go ahead and give the person the gift. It's part of your commitment, so no problem. But if you're not committing your life, you don't need to. You don't need to. You don't need to. You see, there's something about fire. Fire is meant to burn. So maybe fire accident happens and from it destroys properties and all that. So there's also what we call sexual fire. Sexual fire is when you have feelings of strong emotion to the opposite sex. And then, you have this sexual fire and you just want somebody that you can just be with and all that. And the time is not appropriate. The time is not ripe yet. What do you do? So this was what God did. God designed sexual fire in such a way that this same fire can burn in another place and yet the two people involved will not be consumed. Do you know where that can ever happen? That can only happen in marriage. Marriage is the only place where sexual fire will be burning red hot, yet the two people will not be burnt. Have you not heard from scripture? The two of them were naked, yet they were not ashamed. Any other place where this sexual fire burns is going to burn the people and hurt the people involved. That's why it will always end in shame. They go to hide to do it. They go to hide to smoosh, to kiss, to caress. Because the sexual fire was not in the right atmosphere for it to burn. What do you do then? Don't even allow the fire to rise. So don't stir up the fire. Fire does not just happen any day. You don't just see fire accident. What makes fire accident happen? Combustible materials supplied by oxygen. Boom! Fire starts. Other combustible materials are joined. It keeps burning. Before you know it, everyone is engulfed. So what are the combustible materials that can make sexual fire to burn? Organ. Being exclusive to somebody. I was sharing with some people earlier today. I said you don't need to date. There's no need for dating. All you need is friendship. I did an extensive work on that in one of my books, Fellows in a Ship. Check it out on my website. If you need that, get that material. It's going to be of help to you. You don't need dating. Dating is one of the combustible fire that arouses sexual fire. It's one of the combustible materials that arouses sexual fire, and it's going to burn. What you need is friendship. From friendship, when it's appropriate time, you move to courtship, because you have found who you actually want to spend the rest of your life with. You get more on that. I'm not able to do that. Now you get all of that in that material, right? Don't stay it up. You saw when we read the other time in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, he said there's a time to hug. There's a time not to hug. There's a time not to hug. Whatever it is, you know yourself. What stays, as a guy, you know what turns you on. As a lady, you know what turns you on. What those combustible materials, you are seeing a movie, sexual scenes. Remove the combustible materials. Don't see them. Don't watch them. They are combustible. They're arousing the fire. Don't stay it up. Remove them. Don't watch them. That's why you should not be unguarded to just watch anything. Any movie. No. You know what. You read something, stays, whatever it is, you know what stays you up. Remove those combustible materials. Do not stir up or awaken love until the appropriate time. And in the appropriate institution. The appropriate institution is a marriage. Don't do it. It's going to burn. Some people talk about soul ties and heartbreaks. And the whole summary of that is because somebody was stirring up what it was needed not to stir up. And was scaling a friendship. You are not meant to have an intimate friend. The only intimate friend you are meant to have is your spouse that you get married to. And I see a lot of unguarded young adults in the university, and he's just in year one, and he has somebody he's already going to the entire campus with. They go to eat together. They go to class. After they get to the hostel, he goes to take a shower. He puts on colognes and perfumes. They go again to talk for 1 hour. When they're done, they back again. Next day, he repeats the same cycle. He rinses and does the same thing. That's unguardedness. You're going to miss many benefits of this season that way. One of the recommendations I give is that you can have as many acquaintances as you want in the university. Acquaintance is somebody, hi, oh, what's your name? My name is Abraham. Oh, you're James. Nice to meet you. You're in what faculty? Oh, okay, great. I think my roommate is in that faculty too. Okay, nice to meet you. Great. Acquaintance. I can know almost everybody on my campus that way. And then when we see out of school, oh, I think your face looks familiar. Okay, you are James, right? You go to this school. Oh, yeah. I remember seeing the other day, at the chapel. Okay, yeah. Nice to meet you. So what's happening? Well, I'm on IT and I work here. Oh, great. Acquaintance. You don't need exclusivity to anybody. You don't need that. Should you need that? Someone sent me a mail 2 years ago. She said, Dr. Abraham, how do I know the time to enter into a relationship? She said, well, many people have told me different things, but I'm not satisfied. Can you tell me, sir, when am I to enter into university? There's a video I have on my YouTube channel. You see, it's a panel, an expert panel session I was on. I'm trying to remember the name of that session now. I think I can't remember the name now, but it's a panel session. You just type panel session, panel. You see a panel session I was in. It was a men's event, and I shared the answer I gave the lady. I replied the mail with 10 questions I was asking her. I said, if you have answers to these questions, start your relationship like yesterday. If you have answers to these 10 questions, start like yesterday. I don't even think she replied. If you have answers to those 10 questions, so if you want to be exclusive with somebody, no problem. If you have answers to those 10 questions, go check that video. If you have answers to those 10 questions, no problem. Start. If you don't have answers to it, it's not the appropriate time yet for it. It's not the appropriate time yet for it. Everybody can be friends with you, casual friends, acquaintances. One of the biggest of advice my father gave to me while I was in university was one key sentence I can't forget. He said, Abraham, be friends with everybody. What he meant was be an acquaintance with everybody. Let it not be that there are some people you don't greet in your class. You snub at them, you ease at them, you wink at them, you are rolling your eyes as a lady at some people in your class. That's not wisdom. Whether it's short, tall, black, white, fat, slim, it should not be anybody you can't greet. Oh, well, Dr. Evan, let him greet me first. Doesn't he know my age? I'm older than him. No. You greet first. Maturity. You're a product of M3. Maturity. Do not stir up or awaken love until the appropriate time. Until the appropriate time. It's always emotion, but you can control the emotion. Right? I'll close with this. Pressures. What about pressures? Pressures will always come. And we see that not just, about pressure, but we see that much more in today's world. Pressure to have it at all costs. Pressure to make money. Pressure to get along with people. Pressure to have what other people have. Pressure to own the things they have. Pressure to have the gadgets they have. And Proverbs chapter 1 started teaching us what to do to handle pressure. Let's start from verse 11. It says, when the gang says we are going to steal and kill and get away with it. I mean, that's what people say. Don't worry, we're going to get away with it. Nobody will catch us. They won't even know. Don't worry. We're going to get away with it. He said, this is what you do. They say to themselves, we will take down the rich and rob them. We will swallow them up alive and take what we want from whoever we want. Then we will take their treasures and fill our own with loot. So they will say to you, that's what pressure is. They will say to you, pressure is when someone transfers his own desires on you without your own decision. So come on and join us. Afana, come on and join us. Whatever it is, come on and join us. Take your chance with us. We will divide everything we get. Don't worry, we will give you your share. You will get your own. No worry. We could share them equally. We will divide it all we get. We will each end up with each bag of cash. This is the wisdom. He said, my son, refuse to go with them. Stay far from them. Stay far from them. Change your hostel if you can. Run for your life. Why? He said, for crime is their way of life and bloodshed is their specialty. To be aware of their snare is the best way of escape. That you know that this is their plan. That's even the best way of escape. One time, someone, I can't remember where I listened to where I heard this story. It was about going to meet somebody, but God revealed to the person that the person wanted to trap him from that meeting or that meeting they were having, and the person just ran for his life. Once you are aware of their snare, then that's your best way of escape. They will resort to murder, to steal and kill, to steal their victims' assets. Guess what is their eventual lot? But eventually, it will be their own lives that will be ambushed. It will be their own lives. Tell me somebody who got wealth by dubious means, who is still wealthy today. Tell me somebody who got wealth, riches not by right. Show me the riches today. It's all deception. Deception is something you get, they give you, and then I don't know how many people have experienced this before. I mean, I think it happens in somewhere in Lagos, Nigeria. They call it the computer village. When you go to buy a phone and you are not guarded, you didn't know, and you were just, some people would just come on the road to sell phone for you and say, this is the phone, and then they'll give you the phone. They'll give you a phone, they'll put it on in your presence, but after you get home, you just go around, this phone is like they put foam inside. I mean, it's not even coming or nothing. It was, what happened? They deceived the person. That's how deception works. So the devil deceives young people. Is it the money you want? Look at the story of Jesus. He took him to the pinnacle. All the three temptations was signposting to the same thing young people are looking for today. And that's what the devil is still using. He said, is it money you want? Food. He started with the first temptation. He said, don't worry, eat this bread. You are hungry now. And that's the base level of physiological needs, according to the Maslow hierarchy of need we saw the other day. Food you want, get the food now. No problem, I'll give you food, don't worry. I'll give you food, you have enough. Money, you have it, don't worry. Jesus said to him, man shall not live by bread alone. Life is not by money. Life is not by money. No, life is not by money. Earlier this morning, God was sharing with me, and I wrote it down. I wrote it in my book. He said, money is not the destination. It is one of the rewards of being on the path to the destination. But money is not the destination. So Jesus said, man shall not live by bread alone. You didn't understand this. You came too late. I have wisdom right now. It's not money. It's not money. And then he came again. Well, let's try again. This one didn't work. That's how pressure works. Do you think the devil will leave you one time because you won the trap, one of the traps he brought? He's going to come with other traps. A lady, you want that simple trap, you're going to come with another one. You want that, it's going to come with another one. And then this time around, he told him, well, just bow to me now. Just bow to me. Bow. Sell your soul. Don't worry. Just bow. And then the third one was when he actually said, don't worry, I'll give you all this world. He took him to a high place. He said, I'm going to give you all the riches, all these houses you want. I'll give you in the best of prime of locations. What do you want again? Cars? I'm going to give you. Take pictures on Instagram with the poster. With the post. I mean, people are just going to be, wow, this guy don't hammer. I'll give you. Don't worry. Is that what you want? I'm going to give you. But Jesus told him, get thee behind me, Satan. Who do you think you are? God has already given me those things. If you read on verse that Matthew chapter 6, he said, these things other people are dying for. He said they shall be added to you. So it's not about, you don't need anybody to give it to you. It's already added to you. Just stay on the path of life. Stay on your journey to life. All those things are addition. A car is not luxury. A car is meant to be just something you use for ease. It should not be a testimony. It's a mission vehicle. I remember when I got my first car, I mean, everywhere you can name it, on my assignments, I'm there with the vehicle. I named it a mission van, because I knew where to go with it for. I knew the assignment to do with it. So it's not about make I pepper them. No, when you're already having a wrong mindset to a thing, God won't even give you that in the first place. James 4:17. He said, all good and perfect thing comes from God. And it was shown earlier on in James chapter 1. He said, you have not because you ask not. And then he said, sometimes you ask, but because you asked with the wrong motive, you will still get them. Pressures. Don't succumb to pressures. Float over the pressures. Don't give in to pressures. This old issue about guardedness is a game of the mind, and why the devil comes to is your mind. How does he do that? It comes with thoughts. It starts with evil thoughts. I gave a scenario of how examination malpractice occurs. It starts from the mind. And then 2 Corinthians 10 verse 4, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal but mighty through God. How? He said, this weapon is not about carrying cutlass or carrying, no. He said, this weapon is about you casting down imagination. So anytime you have a wrong thought flashing your mind, don't just nurse it and start thinking about it, fantasizing about it. Cast it down. Get it behind me. Cast it down. And every item that exalted itself against the knowledge of God. And bringing into captivity every thought. Did you see it now? Bring into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ. So let everything you think about be to the obedience of Christ. Every thought. Can you guide your mind from evil thoughts? Maybe not. Evil thoughts will come, but what can you do? Cast them down, number one, and subject every thought you have to the obedience of God. That's your daily sprinkling. Evil thoughts will come, but cast it out. Don't think about it. Don't ruminate on it. Cast it out. Have you had the story from people maybe who were delivered from pilfery? They didn't lack the things most times. People who steal don't actually lack the things they steal most times. It was just a demonic spirit, and then they actually have theirs, but just take that one. Take it. It starts as a thought. Every evil starts as a thought. Even murder starts as a thought. So what do? Purify your mind. Cast it down. Don't think about it. That's why every day when you read the word of God, you are purifying your mind. You read Proverbs. It's telling you how to live, how to behave. There's a way to live, showing you what to do, how to navigate. You read other part of scripture showing you how to live. Casting down the evil thoughts. How about the way you dress? Let's close with this one. How about the way you dress? A lady was telling me the other day that she went to the market to get a dress. This was someone who taught one of our children development initiatives. So she was a guarded person, and she said she was finding it difficult to find a good dress. So she gave me a statistic. She said out of 10 dresses, 9 were not the dresses she wanted. 9 were not just about the dresses she wanted. 9 were not good dresses. That's how it is difficult now to find a good dress. Society has painted what should be good, and they say, everybody's wearing it now. It's a style, oh, no worry, just not dirty jeans. That style, fine. It's not just. And then, as a lady, how you know you are not guarded in your dressing is the way people communicate with you, because your appearance is meant to add to your confidence. When people are speaking to you unguardedly, just check what you are putting on. Something is wrong from there. And check how people address you when you put on some, when you dress some particular way. That's why they always say the way you dress is the way you be addressed. It's not about rhyme. That's the principle. You go to some places, yes sir, you're welcome. People see you, maybe he's not here. When people begin to tell you, hey, babe, come here, you know, you know that like I'm putting on something wrong. I can't be a queen and someone be calling me like that. Something is wrong in my appearance. I mean, and you know this. You see, all of this is about self-awareness. There's no generic rule of thumb to it. You wore the dress, you know it's tight, but you still want to wear it. You're not guarded doing that. You always have the inner weakness about any action. You know it's not the best you should put on. So why putting it on? Why putting it on? You are preparing for life beyond school. It's not just about school. It's not about whether you are given a dress code or not. This is how I want my life to be. Look at when Pharaoh sent for Joseph. So he said, when Pharaoh sent for Joseph, and he was quickly brought from the dungeon, he was in the prison. But Joseph was guarded. He had the wisdom ahead of time. Hey, yes, king called me, but I'm not going to just show like that. He went to shave. Change his clothes. And then the wise guy came before Pharaoh. Wow, what a wisdom for us to learn from there. What a wisdom. I thought it's, people say that style. Oh, your question, why you call it style is, what is the style that fits your own destiny? If it's their own style for their destiny, no problem. Which style fits your own destiny? Paths are unique. Your own path is a narrow path. What path fits your destiny? Dress the path. Look the path. Dress the path. And the path will come nearer to you. Look the path. Oh, well, Dr. Abraham, I don't even have enough clothes. Don't worry. The ones you have now, use it to the best of your ability. I want to get these ones, but I mean, no problem. Don't worry. Don't sweat it. There's no pressure. Use what you have right now. Be more guarded with it. Be more guarded with it. This is how it works. This is how it works. You get allowances. Or you whichever way, maybe you run a business in school and you get resource. How do you manage the resource? How do you manage it? It's part of your self-management. Do you just blow everything? Do you know that one of the wisdom thing you can do as a young adult is, from the resource you got, you remember the source. I'm going to say it again. From the resource you got, you remember the source. If your parents or your guardian sent you some resources, out of that resource, look for something else to honor them back for. You just recharge the phone of your parents. You just, who sent this one? They will not even know maybe who sent it, and you just call one of these and say, Daddy, this say I just recharged your account with so amount. Thank you so much. I just want to say thank you. It's just, the man is wondering, are you sure? From what we sent you was not enough. Yet you are doing that. In Psalm 126, it says, those that sow in tears, they shall reap in joy. They shall doubtless come bringing in their sheaves. It's not enough, but yet you are wise enough to still sow a seed from that resource. You don't blow everything. You see some young adults today, the meal alone, when you calculate everything in the meal, you are surprised because you are wondering, okay, so how do you sustain this meal? They say, make I just enjoy this one. Even if not Gary, I go chop for the last week of the month, make I just blow these first 3 weeks. No, manage the resource some more. I had a story of some schoolmates, when they were in the second year in the school, they started saving some funds to buy some real estate properties. By the time they were in fourth year, they already had their pool of funds to a substantial amount. Resource management, that requires lots of wisdom. You honor God from the resource. You honor your parents. You save from it. It's not the amount that makes it enough. It's the wisdom of how you manage it that makes it enough. It's the wisdom of how you manage that makes it enough. Wow, this has been amazing. How can you win with words? I'll just close this with this one. Um, please, if you have questions, please put in the chat. We'll just take it in the next 2 minutes. One of the areas you can win with people is with your words. We call it people management. Just the same way you win with your time management, the same way you win your resource management, you can also win with people with your words. I'm going to give you two examples that you can use. As a young adult, if you want to reach out to a mentor or a lecturer or someone who is ahead of you, how do you reach out? I'm going to give you a skill to do that. Don't just, let's assume you get the phone number of the person or the email of the person. There's a wisdom way to do it. Don't just send the person a message, maybe on WhatsApp or text message. Let's use WhatsApp as an example, and then just go and say, "Hello, sir," and then you are waiting for the person to reply and begin to chat with you. The person may not have the time to do that. So what you do is, when you communicate with people, especially people who have high authority, share with them what you need in as concise way as you can. "Hello, sir. My name is Abraham. I'm in so program at so level. I just wanted to say thank you for the lecture today. It was so impactful for me. I took away, mention specific things. I took away this point when you shared about the story of this organization. That case study was something that opened my mind to understand the concept. I just wanted to say thank you, sir. Enjoy the rest of the evening." What do you think will happen when a lecturer reads something like that? He's surprised because out of 100 people he taught that same day or that same semester, only you came back to say something like that. And he's just wondering, where on the earth is this person from? He calls you to the office, and then he's not interrogating you. I mean, he's just saying thank you for that message, and he's just trying to know more about whether it was just an happenstance or if you actually gathered that way. And he's asking you some more questions, and he's seeing some more maturity and growth in even your speech alone. And that day just takes a new perception of you. I never knew this. I thought lecturers just overlook things until one day I was interacting with a lecturer who taught me back in school. And then I was asking this lecturer, I think it was helping me out with something, and then the lecturer now said to me, he said, you are well behaved. I was like, what do you mean? He said, and then went on to tell me that he sees everybody in class. Some people, maybe a lecture is going on, some people are just making jest of the lecturer. Maybe there was a grammatical error, or there was some form of, and they are just laughing. You think because of this large crowd, the man sees everybody, the lecturer sees everybody, and he was taking a perception of each person's maturity. I never knew. You sit at the back just because you want to make noise and while away time. Be intentional. Grow up. If you sit at the back because there was no space in front, no problem. But you are still attentive even at the back. You make contributions from the back. Soon you will find space in the front. Be intentional. What about when you want to reach out by mail? When you want to reach out by mail, you also need to be concise. A mentor one time, not a mentor, I was in a training one time, and the facilitator was sharing that someone sent her a mail one time, and the person made a mistake with her name just from the salutation of the mail, and because of that, she just decided not to read the mail. I mean, if as simple as the person's name, you don't even know how to spell, then there's no need to communicate with the person. You see, one thing I've learned about communication is, anytime, for example, if I submit an assignment or I'm submitting a proposal, a document, I'm going to go over the document again and review it. Even if I'm typing a mail, I'm going to go over it again. The second time I'm reading it, I'll see corrections to make. Always review everything you're doing. Someone sent an assignment. He attached the document. When I opened the document was all blank. He said he didn't know. That's unguarded. Didn't you check it before you attach the file? Review the document. Review the mail before you hit the send button. It's not about perfection. It's just about wisdom. And then you start the salutation. Dear Dr. Abraham, you give some space. Don't write it. Email is not typewriter. You don't just write. You write, composing an email, the salutation, give a space. Go to the next 2 lines. And then just be concise with what you're sharing. And then perhaps if you're attaching a file or refer the person to whatever you're attaching. Don't just dump it like, they should find it now. No, be guarded. I've enclosed to this mail my submission for, ECM 501. Please, Thank you for, taking us through this course. I found, this submission very refining. It has improved my knowledge of this. Thank you so much. Keep enjoying the rest of the day. Guarded. The lecturer reads the mail. Who is this person? This person is different. Other people just dumps. Someone sent me a mail today. Dumps the attachment. No subject. Nobody. Unguardedness. That should not be you. That should not be you. That should not be you. You can even go to the extent of, I'm talking about winning with words. You're in the university, no problem. Your lecturers are not, they didn't drop from heaven. By that, I know they drop from heaven, but they are not isolated beings. They are families. You can even go to the extent of, maybe if you have a lecturer that is your fave, or, someone, knowing the names of perhaps their children, and then you even know the birthday of the child, and then this day the lecturer comes to class, and then you tell the person happy birthday to your son, to your daughter, and the lecturer is just wondering, how on the earth did you know the birthday of my son? It's something in his perception grows about your maturity. I used to do something when I was in university. When it's Christmas period, I just buy cards and just write to some of my favorite lecturers. I just say, big Merry Christmas to you and your family. And then I just give it to them before I go for the holidays. Winning with words. Those that I'm privileged to maybe have their phone contact, I could send them a message, maybe New Year, or maybe their birthdays, or as the case may be. Winning with words. Don't just celebrate someone's birthday and all you do is HBD, LLMP. That's unguardedness. Even if the person is your close friend. I see some people, I was doing this a time when I was much, chanced. Anytime I see anybody send something like that on my wall on Facebook, I just unfriend the person. I don't want such people around. HBD. If this is the day this person was born on the earth, you can't take 60 seconds, 3 minutes to compose something compelling. Then the person is not what to be your friend. Why HBD? What does that mean? I don't even understand what that means. How do you celebrate a person's birthday? I'm going to give you a wisdom on doing that. You want to celebrate a person's birthday. It's not just about saying happy birthday. It's not even about the day. It's about the year. Right? And then some people say happy belated birthday. Well, fine. The birthday started the year. So even sometimes when I'm greeting somebody about his birthday and the day was not the day, I don't bother saying about belated. I just tell the person, keep enjoying your new year, because the new year just started. So the wisdom is, look for something about the person's life in the last 365 days that has been of great impact to you, and then share that with the person. So whatever it is, concisely, and then you can start with whatever appellation you're starting with. There's one I used to use. I just write to the person that I just write something like, I join the rest of the world to celebrate and to honor you. Thank you for your gifts to the world. And then I can now share this paragraph where this one of my major highlights in the last 365 days of the person's life. Thank you so much for your investment to the world of young people. I still recall the time when you came to our university and the session you had with us, at the Oduduwa Hall, where you shared on career and leadership. That has changed my perspective. Today, I'm more refined on my career engagement, and this is because of your impact of your session. I just wanted to say thank you, and I'm praying with you that this new year is blessed. I'm praying with you that all of your heart desires is granted this year, and new doors and opportunities open for you. God bless you, sir, and have a great year. That's an example of why you can celebrate someone's birthday. No, not happy birthday, sir. There's nothing special about that. Everybody's going to type that. There's nothing special about that. Nothing special about that. That's an unguarded way. I just showed an example of a guarded way you can use to celebrate people. This is how you can win with words. Win with words. When you're speaking to your colleagues, don't just assume because they are colleagues speaking unguardedly to them and using all foul languages. Your head no correct. No, it's not slang. Be intentional with your life. You're forming an habit unconsciously. So speak professionally. And you are too serious. Yours is the form. You be prof. Yes, tell them you are prof. Yes, tell them yes. In the next 10 years, we'll know the outcome of who was speaking guardedly or not. Speak well. Speak professionally. How are you today? Don't speak pidgin. Speak Speak good English. Right? Speak well. And if you are typing a message, don't use short languages. TBH, to be honest. What's that? BTW. LOL. Fine, you can have some times of your humor where you put all that, but don't let that be your style of writing. Do you know why? The reason is you are forming an habit unconsciously. So the day you're going to use that in a formal document, the formal mail, you will not know. It's your subconscious that will be writing the mail that time. So that's why you should write well from now. Poise and guardedness. Well, I just have to stop here because of our time. I'm just going to take, if we have any question, this has been amazing, and I'm just glad you are gleaning all the wisdom and putting them to work. That's the bit. That's the beauty of learning, right? Please put in any question. Let me know if you have any question we need to take. We're out of our time, and we just need to shut down now. Any question you want me to take? Anybody? You can put that in the chat, and then we just close with that. This is awesome. Wow, how has this experience been for you? If you are to describe this experience with one emotion, a feeling you are having right now, what would that be? What would that be? Samuel says this session, module 4, is actually amazing. I've been actually impacted. Thank you very much. Thank you, Samuel, for that. I'm glad you're finding it valuable. But let me know, are there questions I need to answer to at this time? Are there questions I need to answer to so we can all run and enjoy the rest of the evening? Are there any questions? Put in the chat if there are any questions you want me to respond to now. If there's none, I'll just take that good, and then we just wrap up around here. Tomorrow is the final day of M3. Wow. And just like yesterday, we're already here. We're closing it up. Tomorrow, you should not miss it. Tomorrow is metamorphosis. That's the final refinement. I mean, I don't want to just let me keep it in the bag. So, but are there any questions? If there are none, and what I want you to do specially is in the course of tomorrow, go over the replay. You know, some of these things you need to listen to them over and again. That's the meaning of what instill. And take your new actions. Start living the new action. Don't wait. Okay, no, next year, now next month. No, start the new action immediately. Start the new action immediately. Start a new action immediately. Right? Thank you, everybody. Manuel says inspiring and impactful. Thank you, Manuel. Right? Saying a bye from here. We're going to see tomorrow. Get set, get prepared, rest some well, get to do all your to do, begin to put all the learnings to work, right? And I'll catch you another time. See you tomorrow. Keep having an amazing time. I'm going to leave in the lobby. Enjoy the rhythm, enjoy the music, and just keep having a great evening.